You're lying in bed. It's 2 a.m., and your phone is in your hand. You've typed the message 3 times, deleted it 3 times. You scroll to their name, their photo, that smile you used to wake up to. And it hits you, that wave, right in the center of your chest. They're gone, and you'd give anything to get them back. If that's you right now, stay here. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't what the internet usually says. It's not tricks. It's not manipulation. It's not some secret text message that magically makes someone love you again. It's the truth, backed by neuroscience, psychology, and decades of research. And it might save you from the biggest mistake of your life. Or it might give you the only real shot you have. Let's start with the hardest question. Why do you want them back? Be honest. Not the version you tell your friends. The real reason. Is it because you genuinely love them and believe the relationship can work? Or is it because you're in pain and your brain is telling you they're the only cure? Because those are 2 very different things. And science can explain why you can't tell the difference right now. Dr. Helen Fisher is a biological anthropologist at Rutgers University. She spent over 30 years studying the brain and love. In 2010, she published a groundbreaking study using fMRI brain scans. She put people who had recently been through breakups inside brain scanners. And what she found changed everything we know about heartbreak. When participants looked at photos of their ex, the brain regions that lit up were the same ones activated by cocaine addiction. The ventral tegmental area, the nucleus accumbens. These are the brain's reward centers, the same circuits that fire during drug cravings. Your brain isn't just sad, it's going through withdrawal. Your ex became your drug, and now your brain is screaming for a fix. That's why you can't stop thinking about them. That's why you check their Instagram at 3 a.m. That's why hearing their name makes your heart race. It's not love. Not right now. Right now, it's chemistry. And making major life decisions while your brain is in withdrawal is like making financial decisions while drunk. You'll regret it. This is why every therapist, every psychologist, every relationship scientist says the same thing. Don't act immediately. Now, let's talk about the most popular advice on the internet. The no contact rule. You've probably heard of it. Cut off all communication with your ex for 30, 60, or 90 days. The internet says this will make them miss you. That absence makes the heart grow fonder. That they'll come crawling back. But what does the science actually say? There's truth to it, but not for the reasons most people think. No contact works, not because it manipulates your ex. It works because it gives your brain time to heal. Remember those addiction circuits Dr. Fisher identified? Every time you text your ex, call them, see their face, stalk their social media, you're feeding the addiction. You're giving your brain a tiny hit of the drug, just enough to keep the craving alive. No contact is detox. Harvard Medical School's research on emotional processing confirms this. The brain needs space to recalibrate, to move from the acute pain phase to the processing phase to the integration phase. Without that space, you stay stuck in withdrawal, indefinitely. So yes, no contact is important, but not as a strategy to get your ex back, as a strategy to get your mind back. Because you need your mind to make the right decision. Now let's go deeper. Attachment theory, developed by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth in the mid-20th century. Attachment theory explains how we bond with other humans. And it's the single most important framework for understanding why your relationship ended and whether it can be saved. There are 4 attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, disorganized. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you have an anxious attachment style. That's not an insult. It's biology. Anxious attachment means you crave closeness. You fear abandonment. When your partner pulls away, you pursue harder. And when they leave, you're devastated. You'll do anything to get them back. UCLA's psychology department has published extensive research on anxious attachment and breakups. People with anxious attachment are the most likely to attempt reconciliation. They're the most likely to idealize their ex. They're the most likely to minimize the problems in the relationship. And they're the least likely to succeed in getting their ex back. Why? Because the pursuit itself pushes the other person away, especially if your ex has an avoidant attachment style. Avoidant attachment means they value independence. They feel suffocated by too much closeness. When stressed, they withdraw. And the more you chase an avoidant person, the faster they run. This is the anxious avoidant trap, and it's the most common dynamic in failed reconciliation attempts. One person chasing, one person running, both suffering, neither connecting. So if you recognize yourself in this pattern, stop. Not because there's no hope, but because the path forward isn't pursuit. It's transformation. Which brings us to the 3 questions that determine everything. Before you do anything, before you send that text, write that letter, show up at their door, answer these 3 questions honestly. Question 1. Was the relationship actually good, or are you romanticizing it? This is where nostalgia lies to you. Your brain has a negativity bias in daily life, but after a breakup, it flips. Suddenly, you only remember the good, the laughter, the intimacy, the inside jokes. You forget the fights, the silence, the feeling of not being enough. Write down the 10 worst moments of the relationship. Not to be bitter, to be honest. Because you can't fix what you won't acknowledge. Question 2. Have you actually changed, or do you just feel desperate? Research from a Journal of Social and Personal Relationships is clear on this. The number 1 predictor of successful reconciliation isn't love. It isn't timing. It isn't attraction. It's genuine personal change. Not promising to change. Not saying you'll be different. Actually being different. Have you addressed the behavior that contributed to the breakup? Have you gone to therapy? Have you developed new emotional skills? Have you grown? Really grown? Because going back to the same relationship with the same person without real change is just replaying the same song and expecting different lyrics. Question 3. Do they want you back, or are you projecting? This is the hardest one, because hope is powerful. And when you want something badly enough, you see signs everywhere. They like your post. They must miss me. They texted happy birthday. They want to reconnect. They were seen at our old restaurant. They're thinking about us. Stop. Unless someone explicitly tells you they want to try again, you're reading tea leaves. And tea leaves don't tell the truth. So let's say you've answered all 3 questions honestly. The relationship had real substance. You've genuinely changed. And there are legitimate signals of mutual interest. What then? What actually causes exes to come back? Dr. Renee Daly at the University of Texas has studied on-again, off-again relationships extensively. Her research shows that couples who successfully reconcile share 3 specific characteristics. 1. Both partners acknowledge their role in the breakup. Not one-sided blame. Mutual accountability. 2. There is measurable change in behavior, not just promises. The person who is emotionally unavailable becomes available. The person who is controlling learns to trust. The person who cheated does the deep work to understand why. 3. The reconciliation is driven by genuine desire, not fear of being alone. If both people aren't coming back for the right reasons, the reunion will fail. And statistically, it usually does. Research shows that reconciliation attempts driven by nostalgia fail 85% of the time. 85%. Because nostalgia isn't love. It's a highlight reel your wounded brain plays to soothe itself. But when reconciliation is driven by growth, accountability, and genuine change, the success rate is dramatically higher. The Gottman Institute has spent 40 years studying what makes relationships work. Dr. John Gottman identified the 4 horsemen of relationship apocalypse: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, stonewalling. If your relationship was defined by these patterns, going back without addressing them is suicide. But if you learn to replace criticism with curiosity, contempt with appreciation, defensiveness with accountability, stonewalling with engagement, then you're not going back to the old relationship. You're building a new one with the same person, and that can work. Emotionally focused therapy, developed by Dr. Sue Johnson, shows a 75% success rate in helping distressed couples reconnect. 75%. But notice the word therapy. Not texting strategies. Not jealousy tactics. Not social media games. Therapy. Real work. With a professional. Because you can't fix a broken relationship with the same tools that broke it. Now, the part nobody wants to hear. Sometimes, getting your ex back is a mistake. A big one. If the relationship involved abuse, manipulation, control, addiction, going back isn't love. It's self-destruction. And no amount of, but I love them, justifies returning to a situation that harms you. If your partner cheated repeatedly with no accountability, going back isn't forgiveness. It's enabling. If every fight ended with you feeling worthless, small, invisible, going back isn't hope. It's self-abandonment. The American Psychological Association is clear. Relationships marked by chronic contempt, emotional abuse, or repeated betrayal have extremely low success rates, even with professional intervention. Some things are broken beyond repair, and recognizing that isn't failure. It's wisdom. So here's the outcome nobody expects. The Journal of Positive Psychology published a study on post-breakup growth. 71% of participants reported significant personal growth after a breakup. Not immediately, not during the crying on the bathroom floor phase, but eventually. They became more self-aware, more emotionally intelligent, more clear about what they actually need in a partner. They stopped confusing intensity with intimacy, drama with passion, attachment with love. And many of them found someone better, not better looking, not richer, not more exciting, better for them. Someone who didn't trigger their wounds. Someone who felt like peace, not chaos. Someone who stayed, not because they were chased, but because they chose to. And those relationships, they lasted. Because they were built on wholeness, not desperation. On choice, not addiction. On growth, not fear. So here's the final truth about second chances. They're real. They happen. Some couples break up, grow, and come back stronger. But it only works if both people do the work. Not one. Both. It only works if the reasons for returning are rooted in love, not loneliness. It only works if genuine change has occurred, not the promise of change. Actual, measurable, visible change. And it only works if you're willing to accept the possibility that the answer might be no. Because sometimes the greatest act of love is letting go. Not because you don't care, but because you care enough to want what's best, even if what's best isn't you. Pause. So if you're lying awake at 2 a.m., phone in your hand, heart in your throat, put the phone down. Not forever, just for now. Give your brain time to heal. Give yourself time to grow. Give the truth time to emerge. And when the fog clears, when the withdrawal subsides, when you can think with your mind and not just your pain, you'll know whether to reach out or release, whether to rebuild or move forward, whether this is the love of your life or the lesson of your life. Either way, you'll be okay. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually, you'll be more than okay. You'll be free.